Hey there thinkers, welcome back to Critical Hit. My name is Est, and wow, just wow. Dustborn's launch wasn't just bad, it was a full-blown disaster. We're talking about one of the most cringe-worthy debuts in gaming history. Imagine hyping up your game only to have less than 100 people show up on launch day. Yep, that's the level of fail you don't see every day. But the humiliation doesn't stop there. However, I have a few things to show off here, but before I do, we have a small request. If you are new here, consider hitting that subscribe button, smashing that like, and ring the bell to be notified for our next video. We would greatly appreciate this, since this will help appease those YouTube algorithm gods. So we thank you. Now, let me give you my thoughts on this pile of trash. Well, let's get into this, shall we? Now, in a move that screams desperation, it turns out they couldn't even be bothered to design their own in-game environments. Instead, they decided to straight up copy GTA Online apartments. Like copy pasta. Absolutely no shame. We're not just talking about vague similarities. No. They lifted everything. Paintings? Check. TV rooms? Yep. Even the tiny garden that's in the exact same spot. A user named Slick on X called them out, posting side-by-side screenshots that expose their laziness in all its glory. Let's take a look. Dustborn's version has a TV, couch, banister, and stairs placed exactly like GTA Online's. It's a one-for-one ripoff, with zero imagination or effort. It's almost like they thought no one would notice, or worse, that no one would care. But in today's gaming world, you can't pull something off this sloppy and expect to get away with it. Dustborn didn't just flop, they face-planted in a way that will be remembered for all the wrong reasons. Red Thread Games is out here getting grants left and right to churn out their politically woke drivel, and the irony? They love to paint all right-wingers as grifters, lazy, unoriginal, talentless freaks. Oh yeah, a Concord developer actually said this, cause their launch went so well. Because meanwhile, these guys are the ones raking in hundreds of thousands of euros from the Norwegian Film Institute and the Creative Europe program to turn out multiple titles that are as fresh and original as last week's leftovers. But let's not stop there. Let's dive into the real juicy stuff. Let's just take a look at these screenshots of the grants that they secured. Yeah, they've been handed cash just so they can service reheated leftovers in a form of a video game. And if that wasn't enough to make your eyes roll, check this out. Here's a bedroom from GTA, and here's the bedroom from Dustborn. Spot the difference? Oh right, there isn't one. It's literally the same layout. So brava, Red Thread Games, for redefining the meaning of creativity. But surprise, surprise, they got called out for it. And of course, like clockwork, whenever the woke brigade gets a little flack, here comes one of their mascots to defend the honor of laziness. And this time it's Thea Berg, one of the game designers, chiming in with, "This is the funniest thing I've ever seen, dude. Why do you care?" Oh, Thea, sweetie, we care because we expect a tiny bit of effort. But go ahead, keep pretending that copying and pasting is peak creativity. It's hilarious how they keep trying to downplay it as if we're the ones overreacting. Well, newsflash, Thea, when your work looks like it's been done by a half-asleep intern on a Friday afternoon, people are gonna notice. And the whole "why do you care" routine, it's like their go-to whenever they need to wiggle out of taking responsibility. Like seriously, it is like clockwork. Instead of owning up to their own screw-ups, they like to turn around on us, acting as if we're the crazy ones for pointing it out. Classic deflection. They try to make us look like we're the ones obsessing over every little thing, while they sit there acting all high and mighty as if they're above criticism. And let's not forget Nick Calandria and his little merry band of woke warriors. They're out here peddling this ridiculous notion that unless you've made a video game yourself, you don't have the right to criticize one. Really? Is that your genius argument? They're so bent out of shape because Grums criticizes games without making them himself. Like, newsflash, you don't need to be a chef to know when food is burnt. But, of course, they can't take the loss. It's staring them right in the face, and instead of dealing with it, they've just doubled down on their nonsense, hoping that no one notices. And honestly, I would love to get my hands on whatever they're smoking, because it's some next level stuff to keep them this deep in denial. But here's the real kicker. The developer's name is literally Shitsprout. Seriously, how unprofessional can you get? Picture working at a company where someone's online alias is literally shitsprout. If I were in charge, I would have a serious conversation about rebranding because clearly they're not taking the whole professionalism thing seriously. It's like trying to convince people that you're a genius while wearing a dunce cap. So they're trying to sail through with their so-called humor, which is basically a parade of sarcasm. But surprise, surprise, eventually their facade crumbles, and they start making laughable excuses like GTA uses pre-made assets too. Well, enter Splash with their brilliant comeback. From whose games? Their own? Like a textbook case of dodging accountability. It's hilarious how they're defending a game that just 4 days ago had a peak player count that was embarrassingly low, and now they're a total joke. And now they're having a meltdown, attacking gamers for pointing out their failures. They're so delulu, they think that they have any say in this mess. And their response? A bitter mix of resentment and deflection. Thea, again with all her love and compassion, says, I love that they think that they have any hand to play in this situation at all. No, fuck you. I'm not going to be nice when you're being a jerk. Cry about it if you want. It's as if they think that their emotional outbursts and poor excuses are a winning strategy. Clearly, they're just digging their own grave at this point. So here's the deal. This game was clearly cooked up by people with a severe case of Trump derangement syndrome, triggered by his 2016 election. They were bragging that this is the wokest game ever, but guess what? That's not exactly a selling point. This mythical modern audience that they're trying to impress doesn't actually exist. They never end up backing anything woke, no matter how hard you push it. That's why everything crashes and burns, just like this week's disasters. Like we've seen the Acolyte flop, Dustborn tank, and Concord bite the dust. It's like a parade of woke failures. And now this game looks like total trash and has bombed hard. Like so hard, in fact, that YouTube videos roasting it have more views than the game has players on Steam. And now developers are just losing their minds over it because, of course, this is exactly why these so-called developers don't deserve a spot in the gaming industry. I might not have made a game myself, but at least I'm not pretending to be a game designer while moonlighting as an activist. And of course, when these people get called out, they retreat and shut up. They love to stir up the drama with stupid tweets accusing gamers of being racist and bigoted, all while being the biggest hypocrites around. Like, how typical. Honestly, these people don't do a damn thing for the gaming industry. Thea Berg out here claiming that Grump's preferred method of funding is e-begging, while Dustborn's idea of game development is ripping off games that are actually successful and then begging the government for grants. I bet the concurrent player base for GTA Online is in the thousands right now, while these guys can't even crack 100. Why? Because they're too busy making games stuffed with identity politics and woke ideologies instead of focusing on, well, you know, making them fun and entertaining. It's like they're more concerned with checking off boxes for political correctness than actually creating something that people will enjoy. However, those are my thoughts on Dustborn. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And hey, before you go, subscribe to our channel, smash that like button, and ring the bell to be notified for our next video. As always, this is Est, and I'm signing off now, and I will see you in the next one. Toodles!